I used our childhood bond to bully the capital's heiress for 18 years. I thought you'd last longer, but this is all you've got. Let me go. I did nothing wrong. But the day after she went abroad, they discovered I was a fake heir. I was thrown out overnight. I fell from heaven in a single day. When I heard Ning's name again, I thought I'd be desperate to see her. But I felt none of that. I did not even feel a trace of nervousness. I half hid behind my umbrella. Out of courtesy, I still called her Miss Wen. Those words, Miss Wen, put worlds between us. I no longer called Ning's name again and again. When did you get back? Yunxi immediately cut in. His biological father accidentally fell into a river and died. So the family brought this menace back. Who knows who he will get killed this time? You should be careful, or Jinx might latch onto you again. In those years, I really did cling to Ning. I learned what she liked, collected the perfumes she'd sprayed, and staged countless chance encounters, all to get closer to her. Everyone in our circle knew that I liked Ning. They also knew Ning despised me. Otherwise, after my identity was exposed, she would not have refused to help me, then used every means possible to nearly get me killed. Ning was one of those who hated me most. Her gaze now was filled with hatred. It seemed as though her eyes could pierce my umbrella and flame me alive, right? Would he dare? I gripped my umbrella tighter. Even my voice trembled. I'm sorry. I was wrong before. I caused you trouble. It won't happen again. I stood beneath my umbrella in the storm. My frail, malnourished body was hidden in oversized clothes. When the wind blew, my pant legs hung empty. I shook as I spoke. The former young master's arrogance had vanished completely. How had he ended up looking this ghastly? Back when he still bore the G name, didn't he rely on the family's favor to act arrogant and look down on everyone? He did not even respect his sister, Yunxi. He often mocked and insulted her because of the G family. I had to give him some leeway too. But in only 3 years, without the G family's protection or status, he lived worse than a stray cat. Life had even worn down his sharp edges. He had learned to bow his head. When Ning snapped out of her thoughts and frowned, then she walked past me. Let's go, before something filthy offends our eyes. Yunxi snorted and urged, get inside. Why are you standing there like an idiot? I hurried after them. When I reached Linshu's side, I kept my neck slightly bowed. I spoke in the same tone I had used with Ning, with a subtle sense of distance. Linshu's tears began falling uncontrollably. Her loving, gentle face was streaked with tears. She tenderly stroked my hand and said, my child, how did you become so thin? Yunxi, sitting nearby, suddenly said, I know you feel sorry for him. He's just putting on an act. Linshu snorted coldly at her. Though I felt my family's concern, my heart remained completely unmoved. My tears, shed during the nights when my biological father beat me, when I went hungry and nearly starved or froze to death, had run dry long ago. Linshu composed herself, then gently patted my shoulder and said, you're home. That's what matters. Since your father is gone, stay here without worry. We'll still treat you as our own son, all right? No need. I'm already grateful that you took me back. I wouldn't dare hope for anything else. Whether I accepted it with joy or resented them for ignoring me all these years, either would be better than this helpless, humble version of me. The moment I spoke, Linshu cried even harder. How could this be the same person as my once spoiled, arrogant youngest son who looked down on everyone? Linshu pitied me, but Yunxi was not buying it. She stood, cutting short the pathetic melodrama. Mom, are you sure you want a murderer as your son? As soon as Yunxi said that, Linshu scolded her again. But even with Linshu defending me, my heart did not stir. In the end, I was arranged to stay at the G residence. Everything in the house that belonged to me was exactly as it had been 3 years ago. There was no sign anything had been touched. I had returned from hell to heaven. I should have felt at peace. But when I sank into that soft bed, I fell into a nightmare. In my dream, a slap crashed across my face. The pain felt so real it jolted me awake. The darkness filling the room was suffocating. Gasping, I walked outside. I desperately needed fresh air. Before I reached the stairs, I glimpsed a light and heard a mocking snort from the hallway corner. Yunxi sat at the bar downstairs, idly swirling a glass of wine. She spoke lazily on the phone. He cannot even touch a hair on your head now. The family has already arranged somewhere for him. You need not spare him another thought. I could vaguely guess who was on the other end. How could someone who clawed his way out of the mud still dream of an untouchable heiress? Even looking at her once more would be a luxury and a desecration. My lips curled faintly. The nightmare's terror faded. I turned back. A shadow on the floor caught Yunxi's eye. Stop. Yunxi quickly walked toward me. She looked me over from head to toe, then mocked me coldly and sarcastically. What are you doing here? Trying to hurt someone again? I only came out for a walk. Do you think you're still the G family's young master, that you can wander around here as you please? 3 years ago, they found out I was not a G child. I had been switched at birth. My mother died young. My father was a gambler. I had enjoyed a wealthy life and squandered that accidental blessing. Meanwhile, The real young Master Ji had died from a severe fever at 6. My jaw trembled as I apologized through pale lips. I will not do it again. I will never dare to again. Do not think bringing you back means we want you to live well. After all these years, have you still not cured yourself of your delusions? After her warning, Yunxi shoved me hard to the floor. I did not grab her arm and bite her like I had as a child, nor did I wail for Linshu and complain. I only lowered my head in silence. Ever since they brought me back, I had never raised my head. Yunxi raised her hand to force my neck straight. As her hand began to lower, I seemed to sense something. Driven by instinct and terror, I reflexively covered my head. Pressed to the wall, I shook like a leaf. Seeing that, Yunxi withdrew her hand and cursed. Touching you makes me feel filthy. If you know what's good for you, get lost. As if I had been pardoned, I hurried away. The scene was utterly ridiculous, yet Yunxi could not laugh. Her call with when Ning was still connected. Yunxi sat back down and down half her glass in one gulp. How did he end up like this? I only raised my hand, and he was scared out of his wits. How boring. What? Feeling sorry for him? I just think this makes it less fun. It is just another ploy to win sympathy. After all these years, it is still so painfully crude. He really has not improved at all. After Wen Ning's mockery, she returned the topic they had been discussing. You said earlier, the family had arranged somewhere else for him. At that, Yunxi could not hide her glee. Yes, in a few days, they will arrange for them to meet. Once he marries into that family, every day will feel like a year. The next morning, Linshu arranged for me to get into Yunxi's car. Twisting my fingers, I cautiously asked, "Where are we going?" "Mother arranged it for you. Do not worry about where we are going. It cannot be worse than before." I lowered my head and softly murmured agreement. Half an hour later, the car slowly stopped outside a Western restaurant. After we got out, a waiter in a black suit ushered us inside. I followed Yunxi into the private room at the very end. I recognized this as a popular brunch spot. I had once been a regular here, not for the food, but just to see that person one more time. But returning to this old place, it no longer looked as it once had. The restaurant had been renovated. The spot on the second floor was gone, and the figure that once chased after Wen Ning would never return. Yunxi did not enter the private room with me. She only gave an icy command. "Go inside and wait. Someone will come to meet you soon." I stood there, pressing my lips together. I caught a glint of cunning in Yunxi's eyes. I nodded and said, "All right." Then I sat in a chair, without asking another question. But I waited until evening, and the person Yunxi mentioned still had not come. Only then did she call. She gave me another address and told me to go there. My eyes scanned the address. It was a private club owned by Wen Ning. Rain began falling at sunset. Rain streaked the windows. Wen Ning stood by the window. When she lowered her gaze, she could see a thin figure jogging in below. I had not brought an umbrella. My shoulders were soaked through. I stood at the club entrance, trying to get in, but security stopped me outside. I called Yunxi, but could not get through. The cold rain and wind soaked through my clothes. I shivered from the cold. The people upstairs watched my humiliation and misery like a show. Yunxi walked to the window and glanced down. She said coldly, "Let us see how long he can keep acting." He really waited there all day. Without a doubt, the family arranged a marriage for him, setting him up to meet the Shen family's youngest daughter. You know Shen Tang. She is such a fake innocent. The Shen family reluctantly agreed only to repay a favor. But Shen Tang did not agree. No matter how they pleaded, she refused to go. Linshu has gone to great lengths for that fake. It was one thing when Linshu spoiled him before his identity was exposed, but now that there is no blood tie between them. But Linshu still treats him like her own son. In the years since she sent him away, Linshu spent every day in tears. At her worst, she even fell into depression. Hearing that, when Ning was silent for a moment, then she looked at Yunxi and asked, "Is Shen Tang next door?" "She is. She spends all day partying with those delinquent girls." At that, when Ning gave a meaningful smile. What is so entertaining about watching someone get soaked? Go let Shen Tang know. The best part is yet to come. After Yunxi left, when Ning took a glass of wine and leaned against the window, she lowered her eyes again. But what happened next left her utterly shocked. Down below, I carefully held out my hands, letting rainwater pool in my palms. Then I brought it to my lips and drank it in tiny sips, like a filthy stray cat by the roadside, lapping up dirty water. But she would not help me. After all, beneath my soft fur were sharp fangs, and one careless move could leave her scratched, having learned that lesson before. When Ning would not soften so easily, yet she could not suppress her shock. Just then, the door behind me suddenly opened. It wasn't Yunxi who came out, nor was it the elegant, glamorous Shen Tang Linshu had described. I recognized the man at the front. I had offended him before, though calling it an offense was not quite right. I had merely beaten him in a piano competition. He looked utterly crestfallen backstage, and I couldn't stand watching. I scolded him in front of everyone. With nerves that weak, if you cannot even accept defeat, you do not deserve to compete at all. But the tables had turned. Now it was my turn. The three of them surrounded me, inspecting me closely. Each of their shifting gazes held shock. When I was driven away years ago, the Ji family gave my father money and entrusted him to take good care of me. They had thought I was living well these past years. They never expected me to end up like this. The man walked up to me and spoke in a mocking tone. Well, who do we have here? Look at this. Is that not young Master Ji? No, no, no. I forgot the one standing before us is nothing but a fake. The moment he said that, the three of them burst out laughing. After their laughter died down, another one chimed in. What? Did you come looking for Sister Tang? You know you can't hope to woo when Ning looking like that. So, you have settled for second best? Jian. What are you talking about? With the way he looks, even Shen Tang is far beyond his station. You just reminded me. He is shameless trash. When Ning rejected him back then, he hired people to kidnap Xingyi and got him killed. How do you have the nerve to still be alive? My lips trembled. Fear flashed through my dull eyes. Back then, when Ning had gripped my throat and asked me the same question, I cried as I said, it was not me. I was a victim too. When Ning did not believe me, no one did. In court, the kidnapper accused me. My parents suspected me. The lawyers presented irrefutable evidence. I could not defend myself. That was true then, and it was true today. I was wrong. It was my fault. At those words, Jian and the others froze. That once proud man was actually groveling. Jian was serious for a long moment, then gave a cold laugh. Now, you know it was your fault. Why did you not admit it in court back then? I did not argue. They even shoved me twice. Having not drunk a drop of water all day, my weakened body collapsed into the rain. Seeing no retaliation from me, they quickly lost interest. When Ning pressed her lips together, she was about to sit back down, when the argument downstairs suddenly grew more heated. Perhaps my submissive manner enraged him. Jian raised his hand and slapped me. Yunxi immediately straightened up, waiting for my reaction, but I only held my cheek and did not move. Jian then grabbed my arm and shoved me. I tumbled down the steps. Seeing this, the club security guards immediately rushed over. Fortunately, I was not badly hurt. A fall and a slap. I was soaked through, huddled in the back seat. When Ning sat beside me, one of us was composed, relaxed, and detached. The other was miserable and broken, like a stray dog. We looked as though we did not belong in the same space. Then, when Ning spoke as if distancing herself from it all, Yunxi went to find Shen Tang. I will take you home. My tone was even more distant than hers. I can get back on my own, actually. A self-mocking curve touched Wen Ning's lips. Yunxi asked me to, but I could hear what she truly meant. She was not meddling because she cared. Wen Ning did not look at me, but she sensed me raise my eyes. I know you do not want to see me. I was immature before, and I made many mistakes. I caused you a great deal of trouble. I am sorry. I promise I will never make that kind of mistake again. When Ning turned to me and asked, what kind of mistake do you mean? I lowered my head and quietly said, loving you. After getting out of the car, we walked side by side through the pouring rain, but there was only one umbrella, held by Wen Ning. She tilted it just enough to shelter me. I had been soaked over and over. I wasn't afraid of getting wet again, but Wen Ning should not be stained by filthy water. I did not dare get close to her. I cowered beneath the umbrella, catching sight of Wen Ning's rain-soaked shoulder. I took a deep breath. Choosing my words carefully, I said, you really do not have to hold the umbrella for me. I am already soaked. Wen Ning's tone did not change. Her matter-of-fact tone carried a cruel, stern distance. I just do not want Aunt Lin to blame me for not looking after you. Do not flatter yourself. I would never dare presume such a thing. The terrible price I paid for it back then was still vivid in my mind. We walked the rest of the way in silence. When the lights of the Ji family estate came into view, Wen Ning spoke again. Remember to keep the promise you made in the car. I had said that loving her was a mistake, and clinging to her was a mistake. I would never make that mistake again. I nodded and promised, I will. I was too immature before. I am truly sorry for all of it. I had no idea how many times I apologized along the way. When I used to cling to her, when Ning had wanted so badly to hear me say I would give up. Yet when she truly heard it, it was not as easy as she had imagined. When the umbrella was folded, a Ji family maid came forward to greet us. She glanced at Wen Ning and me, but offered the towel to Wen Ning first. It was obvious who mattered more. Now that I no longer bore the Ji name, even the servants here could look down on me. Wen Ning did not take the towel. Instead, she fixed the maid with a piercing stare and said, do you think I need it more than he does? The maid's expression froze. She hurriedly handed the towel to me and said, I will get another one right away. Wen Ning said expressionlessly, no need. I am leaving now. When Linshu came downstairs at the sound, she immediately saw the two of us at the door. She hurried over, grasping my hands the moment she reached me. She touched my face anxiously and said with heartache, Xian, how did you get soaked like this? You were fine when you left this morning. Why did you not use an umbrella? I am fine. You are drenched, and you say you are fine. Lin Shu turned and instructed the maid. Tang, hurry and prepare hot water for Xian's bath. He was just caught in the rain. He might catch a cold. Prepare some cold medicine for him as well. No matter when. Lin Shu's affection for me had never lessened. I mumbled my thanks. Then I turned and slowly went upstairs. Behind me, both women watched my retreating figure. Lin Shu looked away, then turned to Ning. Why was it you who brought Jian home? I clearly asked Yunxi to take him there. Tang never showed up, and Yunxi went to find her too. After hearing this, even Lin Shu's dignified manner held a trace of anger. How could they bully him like this? It is terribly disrespectful to Jian. I will tell her parents. Then she spoke calmly again. Whatever the case, thank you. If this happens again, just have Yunxi call me. When Ning nodded, then she turned and left the Ji residence. While bathing, I locked the door. Lin Shu knocked from outside. Jian, do you still feel unwell after your bath? Remember to take your medicine when you come out. Tang left it outside your door. I am fine. I am not so precious anymore. I thought of the 3 years since I had left the Ji family. Never mind catching a cold from the rain. Even when I was beaten until my arm was dislocated, I reset it myself, biting down on a towel. Every day, regardless of new wounds or old, I had to drag myself up and earn money through wind and snow. Every winter, I wore canvas shoes with their soles coming apart. Snow seeped inside and froze my feet purple and stiff. Compared to that, a little rain was nothing. I hurriedly dressed and opened the door. When Lin Shu saw me come out, she took my hand and asked with concern, "Did I not ask Yunxi to look after you? How did you still end up soaked?" It is all right. Since returning to the Ji family, I had become considerate, completely unlike my once arrogant self. Lin Shu used to pray every day that her younger son would become more sensible, that he would not be so willful, and would stop angering his father. But when her younger son truly became like this, as his mother, she could not help feeling heartbroken. He was so sensible it hurt to see. Lin Shu led me to the sofa, gently drying the beads of water from my hair. My coarse hair was lifeless, like withered grass. Lin Shu's nose stung with heartache. To bring me home this time, she had fought for it single-handedly. But there had been a condition. She could not spoil me excessively anymore. If she spoiled me again, and I offended someone I should not, then no one would be able to save me. I was not used to such tenderness and affection, so I reached out and said, "Aunt Lin, let me do it myself." Lin Shu did not let go. Instead, she said, "Jian, I have let you down all these years. I never came to see you. I understand." Lin Shu touched my bony shoulders and neck, then voiced what she truly wanted to ask. "Do you still have feelings for Wen Ning?" Before she could finish, I shook my head. "No, I know my place. Do not worry. That is not what I meant. I know. I will not cause trouble again, especially not the kind that gets someone killed. I will never make that mistake again. I would not dare." The more sincerely I spoke, the more heartbreaking that smile became. I turned away and continued, "I will find a way to get to know the girl you introduced. If we can marry, that would be best. But if we are not compatible, I will not stay and make things difficult for you." As for Shen Tang standing me up yesterday, when her mother found out, she brought her over first thing in the morning to apologize in person. Lin Shu was downstairs with them. I had caught a bad cold from the rain. Still groggy, I was dragged up to wash up, then changed into the clothes Lin Shu had prepared. The maid grumbled behind me, complaining about how thin I had become. Even in the smallest suit size, I looked like a child, wearing adult clothes. Downstairs, Shen Tang's mother was making her apologize to Lin Shu. Hearing footsteps, all three looked toward the stairs. Under their combined gazes, I lowered my head self-consciously and slowed my steps. Lin Shu hurried over, took my hand, and led me to them. Shen Tang's mother rose politely. "This must be Jian." The Shen family had only risen to prominence in Jing City these past 2 years. They likely knew little of my past. Looking at me now, I was clearly just a quiet young man. There was not a trace of the arrogant, domineering man people described. Shen Tang's mother took my hand. I stood motionless like a statue. She was not embarrassed. "Jian, I failed to raise my daughter properly. Shen Tang loves playing these sorts of jokes. Please be understanding." She tugged Shen Tang and urged, "Get up and apologize to Jian." Shen Tang carelessly smoothed her skirt. Her eyes swept over me indifferently. She forced a deeply reluctant smile. "Sorry about that. In the past, I would not have given a woman like her a second glance. I had once dreamed countless times of marrying Wen Ning, making her my bride, and having children with her. I had longed for her through so many bitter, freezing nights. But in the end, it had all vanished like a dream." Facing Shen Tang before me, I forced out an awkward smile. "It is all right." Shen Tang froze for a moment. She touched the tip of her nose, then turned away and would not look at me. She looked uncomfortable all over. Wanting to bring us together, Lin Shu had a driver take us out to dinner alone. On the way, Shen Tang sat on the other side of the back seat, resting her face on her hand. She watched the streets beyond the window. I sat properly, both hands on my lap, with my head lowered in silence. I was nothing like the person Shen Tang had heard about. According to others, I was overbearing and conceited, relying on my family's power and influence, always needing to steal the spotlight and make every occasion about myself. But the man before her was like a fragile plant, a white jasmine with only the faintest fragrance. Even its stem was dull in color, buried in the farthest corner of a flower bed. It might go unnoticed until the day it withered. The car arrived at the restaurant. Tang ignored me, got out, and went inside alone. She ordered plenty for herself, without asking about my preferences or dietary restrictions. Only after the server took the menu and closed the private room door did Tang get straight to the point. You know Aunt Lin wants me to marry you, right? But I will not marry you. Tang was in the bloom of youth, with no shortage of men pursuing her. To make her marry a man with such a stain on his name, she would refuse even if they beat her to death. Tang spoke impatiently. Jian, we are both adults. Have some dignity. If you know what is good for you, tell Aunt Lin clearly as soon as possible. Then my mother will stop nagging me every day. Could we give it a try? Just 1 month. What do you mean? I do not understand. We can try dating for 1 month first. If it does not work, I will tell our families that we gave it a chance, but we were not compatible. I know no one likes me now. I do not dare ask for much. I only want to stay. To stay, I needed a connection, or someone to rely on. Tang was far from ideal, but she was my lifeline. Seeing me like that, Tang's mood lifted a little. She leaned back and smiled. No wonder they say you are no good. The second you open your mouth, you have a whole pile of schemes. I am sorry. I suppose this counts as a request. If you cannot, fine. That suits me perfectly. It also keeps my family from owing Aunt Lin a favor. But let me warn you in advance. I am not exactly wife and mother material. You might not even last a month. When Yunxi learned Tang had gone out with me, she waited to enjoy the show. Tang was blunt and impulsive. Who knew how many cruel things she would say to me? The thought of my pale, humiliated face lifted Yunxi's spirits. She stood by the window, watching the sedan pull into the villa below. Tang had planned to leave after dropping me home, but as she was about to go, she remembered our agreement. She pretended to get out and chat with me for a while. Seeing this from upstairs, Yunxi was filled with shock. She stood frozen by the window, fists clenched. She nearly ground her back teeth to dust. After I entered, She kept me downstairs for a long talk before letting me leave. The moment I went upstairs, I ran into Yunxi, her face blazing with anger. I really thought that in the 3 years you were gone from the Ji family, you had changed. Who would have thought you had secretly learned so many tricks for seducing women? In her eyes, Tang had countless men fawning over her. She should have dismissed me completely, yet she had brought me home herself. Yunxi did not need to think twice. I must have used some trick. I did not. Then why did Tang bring you home? She just did not want her family to blame her. Do not think marrying into the Shen family means you can rest easy. Everyone knows what you did. I guarantee no one will dare marry you. I did not argue. I had long since stopped hoping. When Ning never loved me before, now, no one loved me. I had tasted that bitterness for too long. Numbness had become normal. Yunxi smiled. She lifted her cup of hot milk and poured it over my head. I looked at her silently. This kind of humiliation could not hurt me anymore. Yunxi stepped forward and grabbed my collar. Since you are so desperate to marry into wealth, how about I take you somewhere? Before returning, I had already known they would not let me off. In their eyes, I was the one who had killed Xingyi. I deserved to pay with my life. But to go on living, suffering a fate worse than death, was my greatest wish. Jing City glittered beneath the freezing night. I followed Yunxi into Manxi. She was a regular here. The moment she entered, a server led her to her permanently reserved private room. I walked behind her, like I was invisible. But once I entered that room, I became the center of attention. Those gazes all carried, to some extent, an eagerness to watch me suffer. Dazzling lights struck my face. I instinctively lowered my head to avoid them. I could hide from the lights, but not the cruel words thrown at me. Yunxi, which young master is this? Why not introduce him? A woman beside her chimed in. Are you blind? You do not recognize young Master Ji. The status and respect I had worked so hard to preserve had instead become a single blade, stabbing me again and again. Yunxi sat on the sofa and raised her voice. Perfect. Let us call tonight a welcome back party. Beneath the shifting lights, Yunxi silently signaled the group in the shadows. They understood what she meant. She wanted them to force drinks on me and humiliate me. For women who spent every day at private clubs, that was second nature. The private room was deafeningly loud, yet the clearest sound was Yunxi calling Wen Ning. In a bright voice, she urged Wen Ning, come to Manxi. Now, you are in for a show. When Ning had just finished a day of social engagements, she had little interest in Yunxi's so-called show, so she refused without a second thought. Any small mistake would earn me a beating, so no matter how much it hurt, I could endure it. When Ning walked in, her gaze flicked over me, then shifted away at once, as if I were filthy. Seeing that when Ning had no objection, a man in the private room suddenly stood. A spotlight fell across his face. It was Jian. Since when Ning did not object, he continued making me his entertainment. Eventually, when Ning could no longer watch, only then did when Ning stopped them from humiliating me for fun. Then she left the private room. She checked her pocket and realized she had left her phone behind. When she went back for it, she passed the restroom. The sound of vomiting came from a stall, grating against her eardrums. Drinking so recklessly, at best, would leave someone dead drunk. At worst, it could kill them. I vomited until the world spun. My limbs went weak as I slumped against the wall. After recovering for a moment, I walked out. When Ning at the door startled me, I quickly straightened up and bowed at the waist. Miss Wen, I had suffered such injustice and humiliation, yet I could act as though nothing had happened, and still respectfully call her Miss Wen. When Ning could not believe this was like me, she frowned and asked, knowing what would happen if you came. Why did you come anyway? Sister Yunxi was only joking with me. I know how to bear hardship. This little torment is nothing. I called Yunxi sister, yet addressed her as Miss Wen, for no reason. When Ning found it laughable, suppressing her anger, she said, she is not your sister anymore. You are looking to claim family ties with the wrong person. When Xingyi and I were kidnapped together, Yunxi, my biological sister, chose to abandon me and save someone else. When she made that choice, when Ning saw her remorse and guilt, Yunxi's eyes reddened as she said, I am sorry, Xian. But once she learned I had orchestrated that kidnapping, Yunxi felt no more guilt. She said herself that she had no brother like me. She said it would have been better if I had been the one to die. I did not find it ironic. I tugged at my lips and said, it should be Miss Ji. When Ning continued, have you met Shen Tang? It was not Wen Ning's place to ask, but since she had asked, there had to be a reason. I nodded. If possible, I want to settle down soon. I had made it clear that I would not bother her again. It seemed she was still uneasy. She was in such a hurry to get me married. Of course, after all, she had finally gotten rid of me. It was only natural that when Ning still felt shaken, I hesitated before saying, but Miss Shen does not like me. But do not worry, I will not come looking for you again because of it. Just then, my phone rang. Ignoring Wen Ning's cold expression, I turned aside. My reddened palm covered the phone's microphone. In a low voice, I answered, okay, I will be right there. When Ning spoke before she could think, was that Yunxi? No, it was Shen Tang. We agreed to date for a month. For this month, I have to come whenever she summons me. No matter how unreasonable Shen Tang's demands are, I cannot refuse her. The air around us seemed to turn cold. I had become dull and slow, so I did not notice anything unusual. I simply said, I should go. Goodbye. As I stepped aside, when Ning suddenly smiled, Shen Tang will not marry you. Do not waste your efforts. No woman from a respectable family in Jing City would want the man I am now, after everything I had been through. How could I not know that everyone despised me? I gave a bitter smile and said, if I do not try, how will I know whether it will turn out well? My smile and that look in my eyes pulled Wen Ning back into the past. She had once warned me just as fiercely, I do not like you, and I will never marry you. Stop wasting your time on me. But I had not been this serious or sincere back then. I had only joked. If you will not marry me, then I will be your boyfriend for the rest of my life. The memory became a blade that struck deep into me. When Ning spoke with a cold laugh, it seems the last outcome did not teach you a lesson. After a long silence, I said, precisely because I have been through it. Things cannot get any worse. I had let go. As for what I once felt for Wen Ning, I could speak of that past openly. I seemed to be smiling, but my eyes held a vast, desolate sadness. Enough, I need to get there quickly. By the time I arrived, I was already 3 minutes late. Shen Tang did not look pleased. She had not called me over because she truly wanted to spend time with me. She wanted me to wait on her kept man instead. He was a minor celebrity. He sat in the backseat holding Shen Tang in his arms and glared at me with open hostility. Sister Tang, is this the man your family chose for you? To placate her kept man, Shen Tang had brought me here to humiliate me. Now she nestled in his arms and smiled. Yes, that is him. The man frowned slightly. How could he possibly be worthy of you? Then he abruptly sat up. He rolled down the window into the cold wind and looked at Shen Tang. You cannot marry him. You are my woman. That line worked very well on Shen Tang. Shen Tang answered gently. Have I not handed him over to you? Take out your anger on him however you like. The two sat in the warm, comfortable van, looking me over as though I were a joke. My face was pale and haggard. Their flirtatious banter reached my ears, but it stirred nothing in me. As long as Lin-Shu could rest easy, I could endure anything. Shen Tang opened the car door. Treating me like a household servant, she called out, hey, do you remember what you promised me last time? I remember. Xiao Jian's assistant is sick. Follow him for the next few days. Whatever he tells you to do, you do it. Shen Tang wanted me to hate her, so she even resorted to this. She was expecting me to fly into a rage, but I was too easy to control. I even agreed to such an unreasonable demand. Shen Tang was speechless. You really have no temper, do you? You brought this on yourself. When Ning had been busy with work these past few days, only when she returned did she learn that I had been spending my time with Shen Tang. Yunxi remarked teasingly, they say he is with her, but he is really waiting on that minor celebrity she has seen. Serving someone? Why would he wait on someone else? Yunxi shook her head and sighed. You have been out of the country these past few days. You did not see how he bowed and scraped. I do not even feel like tormenting him anymore. It is no fun at all. Toyed with by Yunxi, humiliated by Nanzhou and his crowd, and now treated as Shen Tang's servant. No ordinary person could endure that. This time, when Ning had to wonder if I was truly under some kind of spell. When Ning frowned and asked, where is he? Before coming, Yunxi had thought when Ning wanted to see my miserable state with her own eyes. But when she actually saw it, when Ning sat silently in the car, her expression was dark and unreadable. For once, even Yunxi could not tell what she was thinking. Through the car window, I lugged two oversized suitcases to the van. I looked so thin and frail, yet my hands were strong. With a lift of both hands, I loaded a suitcase into the vehicle. The little actor sat comfortably in the van, without asking the driver to help. He left all the work to me. I made several trips alone, loading everything into the van, yet I was not even allowed to get in. The man said something I could not make out. I nodded, then hurried off. When I returned, I was carrying coffee. Less than 2 minutes after I handed it over, a cup of coffee was thrown in my face. The commotion was loud enough to wake Shen Tang, who was sleeping in the car with an eye mask on. She looked over groggily, startled by my bedraggled state. What happened? Shen Tang was about to hand me a tissue, but her hand was stopped. He knew I had a cold, yet he bought me iced coffee. He did it on purpose, did he not? I wiped the coffee from my collar without a word. I only feared I would not wash it out before Yunxi noticed. Back when I was earning money, customers had even thrown hot soup on me. 1 cup of iced coffee was nothing. I am sorry. I will buy another one. I was about to leave when Shen Tang stopped me. I had worked tirelessly these past few days, doing better than the previous assistant. No matter how they made things difficult for me, I never complained. Shen Tang felt somewhat ashamed. She picked up the coat beside her. Do not go. Put this on and go home. After glancing at the little actor, Shen Tang tossed the coat to me. Take it. I just do not want Aunt Lin to find out. With that, the car sped away. The 2 people in the car saw everything. Yunxi muttered, I told you, he is good at playing the victim. When Ning ignored her, got out of the car, and walked over. Just then, an icy chill swept over me from afar. I looked up and met Wen Ning's gloomy face. Shivering, I called out, Miss Wen. Wen Ning said nothing. She raised her slender, knuckled hand to slap me. But when she saw that I did not dodge, when Ning pulled her hand back in time, she said coldly, Are you stupid? Why did you not dodge? When they threw coffee on you and bullied you, you did not know to dodge then either. I just do not want conflict with anyone. Is it wrong to want to stay? She hated me when I was arrogant and overbearing. Now I was meek and humble. So why did she still look down on me? Fortunately, I no longer cried over Wen Ning. A sudden car horn interrupted us. When Ning and I both turned toward the sound, a car was parked by the road. Its window rolled down. Father Ji sat in the back, his face stern and heavy. He simply said 2 words, Get in. Once home, Father Ji summoned me to his study. The study was badly lit. Walking inside felt like falling into a bottomless ravine. At its bottom sat a judge. With a wave of his hand, he could decide life or death. Now, that judge was staring at me grimly as he said, Yunxi told me, you have changed a great deal. Why can I not see it? I said nothing. Those once bright eyes had dimmed through the hardships of recent years. My stepfather sat across from me. Suddenly, he could barely catch his breath. No matter what, I was still the son he had raised for years. I had once been his pride. Then my stepfather suddenly asked, Do you blame us? No. Then, all those years you were away, did you figure things out? Those foolish things. Will you do them again? If you do, the Ji family cannot protect you. There was no trace of innocence or brightness left in me. I merely answered with 2 quiet words. I understand. Ji King Song sighed. If you understand, why are you with Wen Ning again? Have you still not given up on her? No. We only happened to run into each other. It had better be. After a brief silence, Ji King Song spoke earnestly again. Xian, no matter what happened, we truly loved you once. We repeatedly discussed a marriage alliance with the Wen family, but Wen Ning never agreed. For years, she has wished you would die out there. I knew what Ji King Song wanted to hear, so I obediently replied. Aunt Lin wants me to be with Shen Tang. If she agrees, I will marry her. It is good that you think that way. The cloud that had hung over us for days finally lifted. Yunxi packed her luggage. She had arranged to spend 2 days at a resort on Mount Leian in Jing City. Yunxi pleaded with her to take me along. Yunxi had a lollipop between her teeth. She looked at me with a faint, mocking smile and said, "You really want me to take that boy?" I stood behind Linshu, like a dandelion unable to hold itself upright. The slightest breeze could scatter me apart. I felt a little irritated. "Aunt Lin, I do not need to go." Linshu took hold of me and said firmly, "You are going. Did you not say Shen Tang would be there too? The two of you should spend more time together. It cannot hurt." Yunxi wore that half smile, lost in thought. Shen Tang would indeed be going, but she would bring the male celebrity she was seeing. If Jian went, he would only get in their way. But that sounded even more interesting. The resort had been open for 3 years. Most people who came here were notable figures from Jing City. I was only admitted through Yunxi's connections. After 3 years away, many of the buildings here were unfamiliar to me. Entering such a lavish, extravagant place again, the first thing I recalled was my own years, working for money at hotels and private clubs. Yunxi was heading to the billiards room, so she tossed me the key card. "Go upstairs yourself. Do not come out and embarrass yourself." I dragged my suitcase away. Yunxi added, "Oh, right? Shen Tang is right next door." That arrangement was deliberate too, but I only wanted to marry into the Shen family. As for how many men she had around her, or what she did with them, I did not care at all. The moment I entered my room, sounds drifted in next door. Amid those sounds, I curled up on the sofa and slept peacefully. The loud knocking made me rub my eyes and get up. Shen Tang's lover stood outside. He had showered and changed clothes. He was clearly looking for trouble. The young actor looked me up and down and said, "You actually came. You cannot go one day without clinging to Shen Tang, can you?" He suddenly grabbed my arm and dragged me out. I quickly explained, "It is not like that. I came with Miss Ji. Miss Ji told Shen Tang about it. Who knows? Maybe you only came because Shen Tang did. You insist on following us, do you? Then do not blame us for being rough." In the resort's north building, Yunxi raised her champagne glass and said with a smile, "Men really do know how to handle other men. Do you remember that intern assistant who worked for Uncle Ji? The one who was pursuing you? How could I forget? That intern only sat in the passenger seat of my car. Yet Jian decided he was no good. He tattled to my father behind my back and got him fired." Yunxi raised a brow and asked, "Wen Ning, do you think he still dares dream of marrying Shen Tang this time?" Standing by the window, Wen Ning said flatly, "Do not pull this stunt again. There is really no point to it. It is boring." Yunxi scoffed. "Did you not say we could not let him have it easy?" Wen Ning had said that herself 3 days before I returned. Yet in only a few days, her attitude had changed completely. When Ning had wanted to return to her room, but Yunxi dragged her to the upstairs billiards room. She did not mention me again, unwilling to upset Wen Ning. Smoke curled through the billiards room. 2 men, brought by someone unknown, sat nearby. When Ning bent over the table to take her shot, her fingertips rested on the cue. Light danced across her cool, refined features. With her there, everyone else around her faded into the background. She sank it in one shot. One of the seated men came over and took hold of the cue, then slid his hand down to grasp Wen Ning's. "I knew Miss Wen was good at billiards, but I did not expect you to be this incredible." Wen Ning pulled her hand away. Unmoved, she took a cube of chalk and lightly rubbed it over the Q-tip. Then she blew on it. Chalk dust flew into the man's face. He quickly stepped back. Fury rose inside him, but he forced a smile. "Miss Wen, would you like me to play with you? I am pretty good too." Just then, someone ran in shouting, "Is that Sister Yunxi's little brother downstairs?" "Her little brother? I do not have a brother." No. It is Jian. What happened to him? What stunt is he pulling now? Nothing much. He just looks half frozen. The resort was temperature controlled, but outside, the mountain temperature was near freezing. When they dragged me away, I wore only thin clothes. They dumped me out at sea. I walked up from the beach at the foot of the mountain. Jinanzhou brought a group of people, including Shen Tang's lover, and threw me into the seawater. Wave after wave battered my legs. The bone-chilling cold hit with brutal force. But whenever I tried to reach shore, Jinanzhou had people aim laser pointers straight into my eyes. The harsh light temporarily blinded me. Several times, I fell back into the sea. When the tide rose that night, I nearly froze to death. Naturally, I was a wreck by the time I returned. As I entered the north building's lobby, everyone around me turned to stare. People filled the floors above and below, packed several deep around me. They were all laughing at me. Whispers rose and fell like ocean waves, colder even than the tide. I never looked up. I did not even pause as I passed Wen Ning. Even the man standing beside her no longer mattered to me. This time, even Yunxi was speechless. She patted Wen Ning's shoulder and said, "I did not think it would turn out like this." Wen Ning pushed her hand away and spoke in the same cold tone. "Are you all satisfied now?" She was asking Yunxi, but she was also